Hey man, speaking of perfection, there's Brett.
Yeah, as not evidenced by. Good morning, Tom. How you doing?
I'm really good. How about yourself?
I'm good. What the hell? What the Halliburton? What the Hellion?
Coming up on the Labor Day weekend for us.
Yes,
So whenever you're listening, maybe if you're listening right when this comes out, drops today on Friday, then I hope you enjoy your Labor Day weekend. And if not, hope
absolutely.
this podcast gives you something to think about and helps you out in some way. That's what we're here to do.
The unofficial end of summer, Tom. Where did the time go?
Jumped up, spun around. It's already fall.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
watch out.
well, we're in the southern part of the world where we don't really get a fall. We go from 95 to 92. So
Yeah.
that's our fall.
The only way we know it's fall is that when you go to Starbucks, there's pumpkin spice on the menu.
Right. No kidding. But that's all right.
Yeah,
I
all good.
wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
I miss seeing the leaves change. I used to like fall.
Oh, for sure.
It was nice.
You
But
feel that,
football is starting, Tom. That now I know it's fall.
yeah, right. And you feel that crispness in the air.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
That'll change, and then it starts getting a little cooler, and you start to wear some jeans and flannels, and
Uh-huh.
I remember.
It was funny. I saw some friends Wednesday and I asked my friend John, hey, what are you doing this weekend? What are you doing Saturday? He's like, college football starts Saturday. I'm not leaving my recliner. Don't call me.
Yep. Right.
Like, oh, perfect. I
Okay.
hear
Yeah.
that.
If that's what you're into, get it. Enjoy
Mhm.
yourself. Why not? Do things that you enjoy
All right.
in moderation.
Well, I protect everyone's confidentiality for sure, and he's certainly not a patient, but he could be because he is an Alabama fan. So there's got to be some mental illness like built
Okay.
into
Yeah.
that
That by default.
by default, right?
Yeah. Oh, this morning, I had acquired through family members helping them move some stuff, a little TV, and they were like, "You could just put it in your garage if you want to while you're working out." And I was like, "All right, cool." And so I hooked a Roku up to it, and I get Hulu on there, and on Hulu Live, there's a channel called Vivo, and it's plays music videos, and because I like
Yeah.
listening to music during the workout, and it's mostly just 90s stuff, which is I was a teenager in the 90s. That's my jam.
Mm,
And so, but in the mornings, during the workout, 7:15, 7:30, it's always 90s chill. And
mm.
there's a lot of like R&B from the 90s. And so it's funny because I mean, there's nothing like trying to get out of the bottom of a deep squat while you're being serenaded by Boys to Men.
Bone Thugs in Harmony.
Well, that would be kind of cool, like kind of, like some rap from the 90s, but no,
Mm,
it's 90s chill. So it's like the boy
mm,
bands and like
mm,
R&B and Shania Twain and it's good,
mm.
so
Nice.
it's not like Pantera or
Let the
Alice in
body,
Chains or something.
let the bodies hit the floor.
Right, Disturbed. I mean, that would be some hardcore stuff that would allow you to unleash those inner demons to get the weight up. But no, it's Boys to Men.
All right.
It's all good though. You haven't lifted until you've been serenaded by Boys to Men.
Right. When you're
Shania
done, you
Twain.
really feel like you have to take a shower now.
Yeah. Like I remember when we were listening to the Jack FM, and every once in a while there'd be a um gosh, what was that song? They'd
Yeah, there was.
they played all the time, and we were like, if you're not listening in the garage, then if that's wrong, then I don't want to be right.
Right. It was like one of those Adele songs, and we just like look over each other, something like that. We look over each other. We're like, two men pushing a hot iron here, listening to Adele. If it's wrong, I don't want to be right.
Yeah. Hello. We have an
It's
update.
yeah. All right. I love updates.
Ooh, yeah. This is from somebody who had sent in a question, actually a nice robust email, and we did a whole segment episode kind of devoted to her, Marcy, and she sent in an update, which excited
All
about.
right.
If you remember, she was struggling. She's a social worker and wasn't working at the time, and kind of talked about trauma and imposter syndrome and dissociating and just that all around not feeling good enough. And she actually got a job because we had suggested, hey, just go do something to be of service. And she had gotten a job working for a crisis team, essentially. And
Yeah, right.
go Marcy. Like this is all about you. Like I love that you're getting out there, you're putting yourself out there working, making some money, being of service. And there were some naysayers in her life that said, "Hey, no, don't do that. You're gonna fail again," essentially. And she's like, "No, I got to do it. This is what I'm gonna do. Whether I succeed or fail doesn't matter." And she's persevering. So big shout out to you, Marcy, for
Dang, Marcy, that is super fantastic. Congratulations.
yeah.
Nice work. It's you got to get out there, and we talk about progress, not perfection. You had to go out there and just do something and try and move forward. And you're not going to be good. I mean, when we start anything in our lives, we're not good at it. We don't have
Yeah.
the confidence in it. When you start anything, a different routine, a different skill, a different hobby, a different job, a different everything, you're not good at it. You got to practice it. You got to put some time in, and then you get good at it. So progress, not perfection.
Yeah. Just do something. Well, I love that. Just go do something because
Do
if you
something.
spin it around in your mind, then nothing's happening. And so I
Mm-hmm.
always talk about action, getting into action, even if you're going to fail, or even if it seems like it's not going to be productive, or
Mm-hmm.
what's the point? Like
Mm-hmm.
just go do something because then you can be, proud of yourself that you did that thing.
All right.
Careless
Oh,
whisper. That's what it was.
oh, careless whisper. That's
If,
funny.
if lifting weights in a garage, listening to Careless Whisper is wrong, then I don't know how you want to be right.
You're right. People are like, well, I really like to be creative, and I think I'd like to draw and paint, but I'm really not artistic. I'm not creative. It's like, just do it. But grab a pencil, grab some paper, grab some paint, and just start. Who cares?
Right. I mean, you could always scrap it, like,
All right.
how
I
many
mean,
times have you worked on something and it's like there's a fine line. I heard this the other day between a masterpiece and garbage.
mhm.
You're like, oh, it's perfect just like that. Let me just add this one little flourish and oh, it's shit.
That was our buddy, the painter from the 70s. What was his name?
Yeah. There's a
Uh,
it's a happy little tree right
it's a
here.
happy tree.
That was Bob Ross.
Bob Ross. I used to love that when I was a kid. I used to watch that.
Mhm.
It's a happy little tree. It's a cloud. And then it would be like perfect, and he'd like put a black line down the center of it. You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yep. And
And
watch
turn it
this.
into,
Watch how it turns out. And it would always turn out magically.
all right.
I think it was that voice that really captivated me, where it was just so calming and
Mm-hmm.
reassuring and refreshing and positive.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need more of that.
Absolutely. And when we're doing stuff, it's not about the end result, right? It's about the steps to get there. It's about all the process that happens between starting and finishing. It's not
Yeah.
about the end, the finish line.
Yeah.
When you think about, remember we did road trips as kids, because that's what we
Yeah.
did back then. And
Yeah.
you rode in the way back, and backwards, and the
Right.
station wagon, and waved at people to
Yep.
the car behind you. Yeah, remember
Yeah.
all that? No
Yep.
seatbelts. I remember my dad would buy a new car, and the first thing he'd do is cut the seatbelts out of the car.
Yeah. Why do
That
we
was
need
I don't know, that was the
to get in the
70s.
way?
So anyway, but you go on these road trips, and yeah, I mean, you go to a fun. We used to do. We traveled to like all amusement parks.
Yeah.
So we rode roller coasters as families. So we were like Ohio and all over Michigan and all the
Yeah.
amusement parks. And the
Hershey
amusement
Park,
parks were fun, but how much fun did you have on the way there and playing games and the little ColecoVision, like the little boop, 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 right?
right?
Those little
Yep.
handheld games. And you
Your
played
Game
that
Boy.
until my dad couldn't take it anymore. And then because of the sounds, the little clickety clicks, and
Yep.
he'd snatch that thing and pull the batteries out.
Those the car rides were more memorable than the actual. I mean, yeah, you had a good
Yeah.
time at the amusement park, but when you
All
think
right.
back, do you remember any of the amusement park stuff other than just being tired walking around? It's
All
mostly
right.
a car ride, you know.
Yeah. And when we were on those, that was the only time I could order chocolate chip pancakes from
Oh
IHOP
yeah.
when we
Yeah.
stopped.
Yep.
All right. Because like during like when you're not on vacation, you can't have chocolate chip pancakes.
Can't have
No,
that. No, it's
you
not
can't
healthy.
have that.
But when you're on vacation, sure.
Well, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I think of chocolate chip pancakes now, and I'm like, ugh, sounds terrible. But back then, I used to love chocolate chip pancakes.
Yeah, of course, right? It's like dessert for breakfast.
Exactly.
Mhm. Well, your parents order moons over my hammy.
Right. Back when you weren't afraid to go into an
Yeah, before they started throwing hands.
IHOP.
Anyway,
Before they put the metal detectors up at the door at IHOP.
there was one time on a road trip to like North Carolina. I remember I had this book and it was called The Fart Book, and it was probably like 101 different types of farts. And of course, I'm back there as a kid, little Tommy back there reading, oh, this is the German fart, and it's what this is what happens, you know,
Right. But
boy,
I mean,
right?
it's about the journey. It's about the process. It's not about the finish line. It's about what happens on the way there. And
Yeah.
when you start anything, we talk to people all the time. It's like, I got to get back into shape. I'm gaining too much weight. Don't exercise. I'm not eating well. And it's like, well, just start.
Right? Do
Walk to the end of the block and back. That's it.
something small,
Right.
just get into action. And that builds
Yeah.
momentum. So don't think about the motivation to do that. Remember how we think about motivation? It sucks, doesn't exist. Don't worry about it. You don't need it. It's about
Right.
momentum.
It's about a habit. There's no such thing as motivation. Motivation does not exist. It's a construct. It's like unicorns. Like they're fun to think about, but they don't exist.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Um, but what does exist is habits.
Mhm.
So every day, for a week, you walk to the end of the block. And then the next week, you walk to the end of the block plus 50 steps.
Yeah. Okay.
Do that. And next thing you know, within a year, you're, walking a couple miles. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it
No, you
starts. It's not about,
you you nailed it. The habitual, consistent. That's and being disciplined about it and doing it
Mhm.
anyway, even if you don't feel like doing it. I mean, of course, if you're infirmed, then you're not going to be. Of course,
Right.
you got to listen to your body and your mind, and you
Right.
take breaks when you need to. And there's always tomorrow, so don't beat yourself up if you're like, well, you know what,
Yeah.
I'm just zonked from the day, and I.
Yeah.
But you know what? You'll find that if you push yourself and do it anyway, that most of the
Hmm.
time you find the energy to do it and you feel good
Hmm.
about that. And then that, like I said, builds some momentum.
But the other thing is, like, let's just take that walking, for example. Say you, I don't know, twisted your ankle or whatever, and you can't walk, right?
Yeah.
Still be in the habit. Get yourself dressed and hobble on out to your driveway and put a chair there and sit in your driveway for the 15, 20 minutes that you were going to walk
Yeah.
because you're still creating that habit, right? You're
Yeah.
not interrupting the habit. You can't do exactly what you wanted to do, but you're
Yeah.
still dedicating that time.
Mhm.
And in your brain, you're still accomplishing what you can do. I hobbled out to the driveway. I sat down for the 20 minutes I was going to walk.
Yeah.
It's still carved out of my time and my schedule. So,
Hey, you know what? For those moments, get yourself a set of dumbbells, whatever, 5, 8, 10 pounds, 15,
right.
and sit out there in the driveway and while you're seated, do some like, curls and overhead presses or something.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel like you're doing something, so you keep the habit going of this is my time to kind of get some exercise. Oh,
So when people say, I'm just not motivated to exercise, I just can't do it. And I'm
mhm.
like, so tell me about when you brush your teeth. Are you motivated to brush your teeth? Do you brush your teeth every day? Oh yeah, like twice a day. Are
Yeah.
you motivated to brush your teeth? Well,
Nope.
what do you mean? why do you brush your teeth? Well, I want to keep my teeth clean, and it's a habit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a habit.
Yeah.
Well, doing 20 minutes of exercise or walking or cardio or whatever it is you're doing, it's a habit.
Yeah.
It's just like brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
You
Are
don't
you
have to have
motivated?
motivation to brush your teeth.
Yeah. Are you motivated to go to the store and get, groceries and then pay for those groceries? I'm definitely not motivated to pay for the groceries. I'd love to just go get some food and walk out, but that's
All right.
part of our agreed upon social contract, and that's how things work. And so, that's what we do. It's a necessity. So you have
Mm-hmm.
to make those things that are going to be healthy for you a
Mm-hmm.
necessity. This is just what I do. This,
Mm-hmm.
like no ifs, ands, or buts. I brush my teeth, I shower, I wash, I
Mm-hmm.
sleep, I hydrate myself, I go for walks.
Mm-hmm.
I
They're habits.
yeah, this is it.
Absolutely.
There can be no debate. There's no, there's no negotiating. This is what it is. And when you get into that mindset, you find it's
Mm-hmm.
easy to carve out the time and the space to do
Right.
those things because those things now become important to you. And when they're
Mm-hmm.
important to you, you will do them consistently. You'll be
Mm-hmm.
disciplined about them. And so you have
Mm-hmm.
to make those healthy choices. You have to make getting into action, building momentum important to you. And so if you need to tell yourself that in the mirror every day, if you need to write it out to manifest it for yourself, then
Mm-hmm.
do that. But if it's not important to you, if you don't make it a priority, if you don't make it a necessity or a habit, then you're not going
Mm-hmm.
to do it. And you're going to be in the stuck place saying to anybody and everybody, sounding like a broken record, oh, I need to really lose some weight. I need to like tighten up my diet. I need to do these things that should propel myself and my business forward, but then you just don't do them.
All right. Yeah. I'm just not motivated.
You
But
will
you're right.
make.
I loved, I had an old boss actually, or was a board member of an organization I was running. And he was an old HR guy. And he said, people don't do what you expect, they do what you inspect.
Oh, that's interesting.
I
Tell me more
love,
about
and I
that.
that was from 30 years ago. And I remember that quote. And that's so true.
Yeah,
And it's true in a working environment, it's true in our personal. And that's why I say get other people involved in your goals, right? So if your goal is to walk, or do exercise 4 times a week, 20 minutes of exercise 4 times a week, who is your accountability partner? Who is it that you have to report to at the end of the day? Maybe it's a parent, a friend, whoever it is. Hey, you can at least text out and say, met my goal for the week, right?
yeah,
So at least, there is a lot that has to do with, being accountable to your goals. You and
definitely.
I worked out for 5 years every morning, and
Yeah.
we missed a handful of times,
Mhm.
if that.
Yeah. And that was for situations outside of our control. Maybe it was like 35 degrees outside, and we decided let's not be heroes
Right?
or
Yeah.
want oversleep.
Because we're dumbasses. We'd like stick our tongue to the frozen metal
Meh.
barbell or something. Let's see if it
This
sticks.
always happens, right? This is
Funny.
yeah.
But we did it because we had an accountability partner, and it was expected. Now, how many times did you and I, like, individually, of course, I mean, wake up and go, oh God, I don't want to do this.
Oh yeah.
Man, this bed is so warm and comfortable. But you didn't, I mean, after time, you didn't even have those conversations anymore. You were up, you're out, and it's habit. That's what
This
we
is what
do.
we do. Yep. And I've kept in with that habit. So, I'm
That's
still up
great.
at the exact same time. I do the morning ritual and go work out and lift. And it's really good. And I'm so grateful that I kept going with that. Not as fun, but
Uh,
by myself. But I have boys to men.
there you go. There
Yeah.
you go.
Uh,
Serenading you through your workout.
yeah, you will benefit if you and your partner, spouse, do it together.
Mm-hmm.
Engage in healthy habits together.
All right.
We started this healthy habit in the evening time where we got a book and it's called A Year of Us. I can't tell you who the author was, got it on Amazon. Somebody had recommended it a while back, and I've actually recommended it to a bunch of couples that I've worked with. And we started doing it. And it's just like a whole year's worth of questions that spark like conversation, you know.
Hmm.
Um, nothing in there terrible, like, hey, if you could sleep with any celebrity, who would have been, because that wouldn't go
What's your
well.
body count?
Right, right. No, but it's questions that spark conversation about, yourselves individually in your lives, and like, morals, and how you are together, and things you appreciate about each other, and things like that. Just good, clean, healthy stuff. And so we look forward to that. It doesn't take more than 5 minutes, but like doing that, like that's a nice bonding experience that doesn't involve technology.
All right. Mhm. Hey, Tom, how many times have you, like we talk, particularly I've had some young people, it's like, oh, I just don't have time. I don't have the motivation. I don't have it. I'm like, let me see your phone. I'm going to check your screen time.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? No.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you do
Well,
have a
that's the
little bit
thing.
of time in your life, right? Because we can check your screen time. That can tell me how much time you got in your life.
That's the thing, is you are going to prioritize. You are currently prioritizing something in your life, many things. And
Hmm.
so are those things benefiting you? Are they healthy? Do you want to make
Hmm.
changes to them? If you want to exercise, let's say, or you want to start cooking food instead of ordering out all the time, then something is going to have to be replaced. There's something you're doing that maybe is maladaptive or not as healthy as you'd like it to be, and
Hmm.
you're gonna have to swap that. So you're gonna have
Hmm.
to say goodbye to that thing. You're gonna have to grieve the loss of it, of 3 hours a night looking at TikTok, and dial that down to 30 minutes, and then engage in some healthy activity. But you are right now prioritizing something in your life. If
Right.
if you don't realize what that is, I would encourage you strongly to take a look at, what am I doing consistently, you know, that may or may not be really helping me. And if you like it,
Hmm.
if it is beneficial, keep doing it. And if not, then hey, what would you rather throw in its place? What would be healthy for you?
Hmm. Yeah. One of the one thing that I like to do is like we'll go out to eat. We don't go out that often, but when we go out to eat, try new things. When I find something I really like, then I will work hard at trying to replicate that at home. Like I can make that, and I can make it better. So, find some recipes, whatever, experiment. I learned how to make deep dish pizza that way. I couldn't find deep dish pizza down here in the way south,
Mhm.
and I made pizzas every third week for a year.
Yeah.
Dough from scratch, sauce from scratch, not the cheese from scratch, but anyway. Um, and I just taught myself how to make deep dish pizza.
Yeah.
That's so dang
And
good.
maybe you had some ones that weren't as great, and
Oh
then
yeah,
you got
absolutely.
better at it. You dialed in the recipe, you
Mm-hmm.
turned up the heat a little bit more, or you got a special pan for it, or you
Mm-hmm.
use a different type of cheese, like, and you try it out, and that goes back to your point, which is what the episode is really about, is practice, not perfection.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You're not going to be great at something the first time you try it. So that's all about the journey. How much fun did I have, making all those different pizzas and trying different things and experimenting.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Hey, in therapy, we talk about coping skills. And me remind you that a skill is not something you do right, well, perfectly the first time you do it. By
Right.
definition, skill is something that is developed and
Mm-hmm.
practiced and gets better over time. So if we're giving you a coping skill, that
Mm-hmm.
means don't just do it one time and be like, well, that didn't help. That didn't work for me. I'm still anxious, or I'm still depressed, or I'm still whatever. Well,
Right.
let's work at developing this into a skill and then see how
Mm-hmm.
it goes. Like the art of reframing, that's a skill.
Mm-hmm. The other one is the whole concept of mindfulness. We've talked about that a lot. Maybe we'll do another episode on mindfulness. But to me, mindful just means it's a big topic. And it just means, from my definition of mindfulness, is putting the world on pause and doing whatever different techniques, breathing, guided imagery, meditating, whatever it is you want to do, just put the world on pause
Yeah.
and be present. And what we mean by that is just be in the moment for 10 minutes at a time.
Mhm.
Like the world does not exist. I'm just going to practice breathing and being here with myself right
And at first, it's okay if you're like, this is stupid. I don't know what this is achieving. I've got so many other things I could be doing.
now.
The dryer is buzzing. I got to go fold the clothes. I got to go look at Instagram. Oh, I
Right.
wonder what such and such is up to. Oh, I got to put on, I got to see the next episode of the summer I turned pretty. You know, like
And I've been
instead of just
practicing
sitting.
different mindfulness, techniques over the years. And the one thing that really blew me away is I tried this breathing exercise, this kind of meditation skill once, and I have my blood pressure can get very high. I have high blood pressure, and very situational as well. But I was running around doing stuff, whatever. Sat down for 5 minutes, took my blood pressure. I'm like, dang, it's too high right now.
Yeah.
So I went and I've been practicing this breathing skill. I did it for 10 minutes. Went back and took my blood pressure, and it was spot on.
Like,
So,
yeah.
I mean, the benefits of something like that clears your head, lowers your blood pressure, just, grounds you. It puts everything in perspective.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, what happens if you go to the gym one time? Nothing
you get
happens.
sore and you don't want to do this anymore.
Right. What happens if you go to the gym consistently 4 times a week for 6 months?
Right.
You start to notice some things.
Right. How many times I went to the gym and I got shin splints, or I'm so sore I can't move. So I can't go back. Well, okay. You did that because you're not in shape and your body's like, what in the heck are you doing?
Yeah.
So how about you slow down and do a little bit?
Yeah. Because the perfect example of the motivation or wanting to have motivation or needing motivation is the New Year's resolutions.
Mm,
How many of them, probably zero, big old fat goose egg, have
right.
any of you actually stuck with if you're the type to make resolutions? We don't because we know that there's a fallacy in that because the motivation and inspiration can be so fleeting. So, but building goals and healthy habits for the year, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do, yoga every day, no matter what. Uh, and for the year, that's a goal. That's not like a New Year's resolution. There's no end goal in sight other than I'm going to see the benefit and know that it's going to benefit me of doing yoga, whether that's stretching, being more mindful, maybe leading to me being able to meditate better, maybe focusing on breath work, like that's all part of it. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we see that the motivation is garbage, but the practice and watching yourself get better over a period of time and looking back from when you just started to now and seeing
Mm-hmm.
the progression in a positive way is such an amazing thing. But you're not going to see it day one, and you're
Right.
probably not going to see it day 30 necessarily. It's going to take some time to build, but engage in that because that's where the benefit comes. The journey, the things you learn along the way, the things you learn about yourself, the world around you, about others, it's invaluable,
Mm-hmm.
priceless.
It's not about the finish line. It's about the process on everything that happens and all the lessons and all the things that we learn about ourselves, that we learn about our skills along the way.
Yeah.
Progress, not perfection.
Yep. I mean, how much did you learn from that one weekend CEU course, Great course, whatever it was, we'd have to do those all the time. But then, whether or not you're using that information, you might remember a nugget here or there, but it's not like you remember the full, 12 hours of
Right.
learning. But I think about, versus when you were in grad school and that took 2 years, like that was a slog. That was definitely you had to be disciplined about it and all of that learning, like that stays with you because of the repetitive nature of it, because of the working at it,
Mm-hmm.
trying to improve and get better and that's so much more memorable. You spending time doing something.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
It's just what we do now, right? Exercise, walking, eating clean,
Mm-hmm.
making sure you get enough rest, meditating, being mindful, those healthy things that we talk about, like that needs to be a priority. Those things need to be priorities in your life and habits. And this is just what I do. Not that
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this because in 3 months I want to really look good because I've got a a wedding I'm invited to or something. No,
Right.
this is just what you do now.
Hmm. Yeah, those are destined to fail.
Yeah.
You know, there's no such thing as a diet. It's like I'm changing my eating habits
Yeah.
permanently. I mean, it's not, so progress, not perfection.
Yeah. Thank you for today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Tom.
Hope that you guys got some value from it. And what has been your experience regarding practice, not perfection? And what do you want us to talk about? What questions do you have? Send them in to us at questions@therapyonzip.com. And we will eventually get to them. So I know Marcy's question or her update had been a couple weeks out, but we finally got around to it. And we really appreciate you sending in stuff. So please send in.
And congratulations again, Marcy. Nice work.
Yeah, man. Thank you. And we
Thanks,
hope you
Tom.
guys have a tremendous rest of the day, rest of the weekend, and enjoy your Labor Day if you're listening to this before that. And if not, that you're having a tremendously, well, wonderful day. And we'll see you soon.
All righty.